How's it going, YouTube? First, I'll address this first question that is probably on a lot of people's mind if you watch my last video of why I'm wearing the same sweater. One, this sweater is very comfortable. I love this thing. It's nice and soft. Two, I only made that video a couple hours ago, so obviously I haven't changed my clothes. It's the same day. I'm just trying to save myself time because I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, so I don't want to forget and not have a YouTube video ready to go. So I was in my live stream earlier, and I did a Q&A in my live stream. I was asking people for questions, and then I remembered that I had asked months ago for questions on Twitter so I could do a Q&A live stream, but I never ended up doing it. So I had a bunch of questions. Probably have like 30-some questions. I'm shocked I even got that many, because really I'm not known, so I really don't have like a large fan base. A lot of these might actually be from the same people just asking multiple questions, but I don't really care. I will not reveal any names because I actually had someone in my live stream. Oh, wait, actually, let me explain this. I have like 3 core viewers in my live stream. They've been watching me since Ghost on my Xbox One. Well, someone asked a mean question and they went out and tweeted at that person. I don't want that to happen again, so I just have the questions written down on here on my little notebook so I can answer. I have 8 of them right here. I have enough to make like 3 or 4 more Q&A videos. I'll do the Q&A in the live stream too, but I do this so that people can watch it on both ways. So my first question, what happened at the online qualifier? So for the few people that know, because I put this out on Twitter, I was supposed to compete on the online qualifier with 3 other guys that I didn't really know them. They were brought together by Prodigy Esports, a brand new team that was trying to experiment and see if they could make their own team. Well, they did. They got 4 guys together, me, 3 other guys, and said, okay, you're going to compete in the online qualifier under Prodigy Esports. Well, the 3 Slayers dropped, so we picked up 3 more. Like, within 2 days before the qualifier, we started talking about picking up more guys, and we got them like the day before. Well, we practiced that night, and I ended up going to bed early because I hadn't slept the night before because I was grinding, trying to get ready. Well, we got all of us checked in, teams made, ready to go, and like not 10 minutes before we were supposed to start competing, this kid says he's not playing. We go into panic mode, trying to pick up another guy, trying to figure out what's going on. Well, roster locked out. We couldn't do anything. I tried talking to game battles. Nothing against them. There's nothing they could do. I was just trying to see if there was options. So as soon as first game comes up, it's a forfeit. No one's going to take the risk of losing to 3, and losing out just because they were dumb and didn't forfeit us. But we did get forfeited, so. My favorite Call of Duty game. I'm going to keep this short because I'll get way too into detail if I start talking about the game. But Black Ops 2, by far my favorite game. Good guns, good core maps. I loved it. I loved playing in League play. I thought it was amazing. It's a great concept. I still play the game now. My favorite game besides that, again, can't get into too much detail because I'll start talking for way too long. Dragon Age Inquisition, love it. Got it on my Xbox One. Probably 3 weeks after it came out. I have been hooked on it, but due to Call of Duty, I stopped playing it for a while, and I regret that because I'm going back to playing it in the live stream tomorrow. I'm pumped for it. Have I ever been in a fight? Short answer, yes. They actually asked what was my worst fight, but I didn't know if I was going to go into detail on that. I guess, it's not a big deal. Everyone's probably been in a fight. I went out to a party with this girl that I knew at the time. And when we were leaving, I wasn't drunk by any means. I was a little buzzed. I was still under the influence. I quit drinking probably an hour and a half ahead of time, just trying to, clear myself because I don't really like feeling drunk. I don't know why even. I actually stopped drinking because I don't like the feeling of being drunk because I don't like feeling out of control of myself. But we were leaving and someone made a comment. And it was a very rude comment, and I'm not going to say what it was. But, I turned around and I told him, shut up with less polite ways. I started walking away thinking, okay, I'm going to get angry, whatever. And, he kept yelling, so, I turned around, we started yelling back. It was all like a verbal altercation, just, there's people around. I don't know if they were more waiting to see if they could watch a fight or if they were seeing, whether or not they were going to have to break up a fight. Well, this all went well, and people started telling me, go home. You're the one that's better minded here. Go home, whatever. So I started walking away. And now, as a reminder, I did not know many people in this town. Like, I was not from there. I had not been around there. It was all new to me. Um, but this guy started just yelling, and he's still like yelling things at me, ripping on both me and the girl, and I started getting a little heated, and I turned around and started yelling back again, and then one of the guys came up, another guy came up to me, not mean at all, just saying, "Okay, leave, let this slide," and I'm like, "Okay," and started walking away. But then was when this guy made a mistake. Now, before I say this, I am not a very big guy. I am 5'10", like 140 pounds on my heaviest day. But this guy just yells out that I was a pussy, and it must be like father, like son. Now, for people that might know me, I am a very level-headed guy. I'm not very angry most of the time. I'm usually a very happy person. But if you decide to bring my family into things or any of my very close friends into things, it tends to kind of tip me over the edge, even if I'm in a good mood. So I turned around and I kind of started charging back at this guy and gave him a good shove, and he ended up tripping backwards and falling, and he jumped up and shoved me, and he kind of grabbed me, and at that point I kind of knew I was screwed because that was stupid of me to even start a fight. But so I kind of just like grabbed his hand and pushed off, and was kind of relying on my wrestling in high school just to kind of keep myself away and just kind of try to see if I could back myself off. Well, it turned into kind of a fist fight. I wouldn't say it was like a violent fight. No one got sent to the hospital. No one was in serious injury. I had a couple bruises. I had a couple scrapes on my chest. I took a digger in some gravel and stuff. I had some cuts on my chest. My knuckles were kind of beat up and bruised. I had a nice bruise on my ribs. I didn't really have anything on my face. I might have had a little bit of a bruise under my cheekbone, and he had a bloody nose, a fat lip, and probably some bruises underneath his shirt and stuff like that. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a hospital fight. No one had to get sent or taken in an ambulance or anything. It was a big mistake. But it's funny. The next question is, what is my biggest regret? Funny enough, this is not my biggest regret. My biggest regret would be out of high school. I went to the University of Platteville in Wisconsin. And I did not take my grades and my schooling serious at all. I thought I was just going there for fun, apparently. Because, I let my grades slip. I played Call of Duty all the time. I went out to parties on the weekends. I, would go out in the circle and I'd play sports and stuff with people. And just kind of went out and had fun. Let my grades slip too far. Almost got kicked out of school, actually. I had to appeal and basically say I would work harder. And then I would work my ass off in second semester in order to stay in school. And again, this is the perfect next follow-up. What happened on... Okay, it says what happened with you and your girlfriend. I'm guessing they mean what happened on Twitter. Now, last week on Twitter, I made some comments that I shouldn't have made, and I posted some things that I shouldn't have posted out of anger and out of just, straight confusion and just kind of like a rage. So probably last week on Tuesday, no, it would have been later in the week. I can't remember what day. My girlfriend broke up with me over something that I wasn't even sure about. I still to this day, like a week later, have no idea what happened. But then she went on Twitter, and I was still following her at the time, and she said something about like, I can't believe I wasted my time with someone who was so heartless and didn't care about anyone but himself and didn't care about anyone else's emotions. And, that kind of got to me, like it kind of ticked me off because I've never thought of myself as like a heartless person. I mean, I've always thought of, I was a good guy. At least that's what I think. I guess, needless to say, I don't really care about other people's opinion too much. Yeah, I take it into consideration, but I'm not going to completely change myself for someone. But, then I made a comment back, and, I think it went like a couple times just back and forth, and then it just kind of escalated really fast. And then at that point, I kind of realized the mistake I was making. And I immediately unfollowed her, so I wouldn't see any more of her tweets. I deleted all my tweets off of there. Only a few people actually saw it. There were some favorites and some retweets in there, so I deleted everything, and I asked the person to delete the retweet because it stayed on their board. They did it for me. They were nice enough to not, to leave that on, to not leave that on there, and I appreciate that too. Because for me, that was a big mistake for me to make. It was a stupid decision for me to make. Because even at the time, that was before I even joined Prodigy, and that's a bad thing to do. for anyone who is trying to game, really watch what you put on Twitter. With now how big Twitter has got, every team sees Twitter, and if you go and watch any of Crimsic's videos or Hex's videos, they'll say how they're putting Crim through Optic Boot Camp. It's more of just watching what he posts and watching what he says. That's basically what they're talking about, because you have to know what you can put on there so you're not causing problems for you or anyone else. But moving on, what does my future hold? Someone asked me this because I said that I was done with competitive Call of Duty. As of right now, I'm not really 100% sure on what my future holds. I put a couple feelers out there to maybe work behind the scenes on some teams. Then I was looking for journalism. I love writing. Writing is a passion for me. So I applied for that. Fear is looking for some people to just stream under their name. I applied for that. Some of these things that are just minor roles in organizations that still keep you around the community, I kind of thought would still be fun to hold, at least for the time being. As of right now, I work at a machining plant. I don't know what you want to call it. We work Caterpillar parts, John Deere parts, stuff like that. I work a full-time job, saving up money right now, because the end goal is to go back to school and become a full-time firefighter in a big city. You only need two years of technical school, and then training beyond that goes with whatever department you join. So that's kind of the end goal for right now. But, with life and with how young I am, you never know what's going to be thrown at me or what's going to happen. So right now, I'm just kind of keeping my options open and just going with what happens. My last question, and this gets asked all the time, especially when I'm playing online. People will send me messages asking me. Now, if anyone ever sees me online when I play Call of Duty, my clan tag is Crew, CR3W. People ask me all the time if that's related to Speedy, if I know Speedy, if I game with him, if I know Deluxe, if I know Jehovah, all this stuff. No, it has absolutely nothing to do with them. What most of you probably do not know or have any idea about is that me and one of my friends, Modest Name, started this crew, or called ourselves the Crew, before Speedy ever did. And obviously I'm not taking a dig at them. They took it and they made a brand out of it, and obviously there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not like we trademarked it. It's not copyright, nothing like that. So, they built a brand. But we started calling ourselves like that. We added players. We added Sheltertron, one of our friends, to it. Then we met FNS JFK, who's actually become a pretty good friend. I didn't know he only lives like 40 minutes from me. We met him online. He started playing with us, and he became part of the crew. And then we added Muggle Hunter, who was actually a kid that was a grade above me in school. In high school, he got joined in, and Wire 32, classmate in high school, got joined in. And, that just kind of became the crew. It was never a competitive team. It was more of just a fun thing. We just played online, and these were the people we played with. But, yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with Speedy or any of them. I do not know Speedy. I've never played in a game with Speedy. I've never talked to Speedy. I mean, I do watch his videos. Everyone knows who he is. Probably 90% of people that watch, even see this, know who Speedy is or watches his videos. But that's all I got for now. Like I said, I probably have 30 more questions. And yes, a lot of them are from the same people that I just ask multiple questions. But hey, if you want to ask them, I'll answer them. If you have any more questions, you can put them in the comments. You can hit me on Twitter, either at DosXCheesecat or 4_profit, 4_. I know that's weird, but that's the only way I could get profit as my ad name. You can ask me in my live streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/fear_the_Cheesecat. That's all I got for you right now. The Cheesecat revolution's coming. Let's go, baby.